Welcome back. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Keep It Clean podcast. This is episode 007. I'm gonna start keeping track of these. I figured we should do that. Welcome back to the podcast. We are here. Nico, Ray, Ev, Rose, my brothers. What's going on? We
Not
back
much,
for
not
another week.
much.
We gonna keep it a buck, keep it a beam, but most importantly, keep it clean, man. We got some topics to get into, but first, Ray, how was your week, man?
Man, my week was filled with travels, bro. You know what I'm saying? We was out there in Fort Worth for the job, met up with a lot of people that I haven't seen in a minute because I used to live up there and whatnot. So, Bucket Hat Ray was on tour. Can't complain about that. You feel me? It tapped in with a lot of folks and then came back, got to kick it here. I want to give a quick shout out, man, to William O'Ree, first black player to ever play in the NHL, fresh out of Canada. You feel me? Parents escaped on the Underground Railroad, and then he got to grow up and play over there. You know what I'm saying? Him and Bill Russell was locked in. But other than that, man, my week was cool, bro. My week was cool, man.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the game. Appreciate the gym right there.
Mhm.
Ev, how was your week, brother?
Bro, my week was good. My week was good. Had a nice time at work. Got some good feedback on some projects that I've been working on. So that's what's been great. Thought I was doing kind of rough in them and got some great feedback. So that was a great positive. Yesterday, unfortunately, had a funeral to attend, so had to spend some time with family, having a home going. But we ended up turning into a true celebration. So it was a good time to be around family, and we all had a ball, had a
Mhm.
blast. Rest in peace to my cousin Gracie Anthony.
For sure.
We love you. But we had a great time. So it was to end it on the back on a sad note, it turned into a positive. So I'm happy and blessed for that.
For sure.
Love
For sure.
that. Love
Rest in
that.
peace. Rest in peace to your folks, man. Love to
Hey,
your family. How
we
was
not gonna let it
how was your
slide
week,
though. You can
Rose?
tell. You hold on. We not gonna let it slide though. You can tell Ev got a fresh lineup. He changed the hat just so you can see it.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? When you in here looking crispy, I
ah.
want to give you a shout out when you looking crispy. You feel me?
Man, I ain't want to not wear the hat,
Hell
but
no.
then I
you
ain't
feel
not
me,
want
man?
to
I
just
was
have
like,
the
we
hair
gonna
out. So
point
see, I
that,
like
bro.
how you picked up on that. You
How was
picked
your
up on
week,
that.
You
Rose?
know what I'm saying?
Shit, my shit was smooth, bro. I ain't really, another week of work. Ain't really too much. It's one of the more quieter weeks for me. So, uh,
Stay
What
out
was
the
that
way.
new
not too much
promotion
hot
hit
shit.
like?
Not too much wild shit.
You said what that new promotion look like?
Yeah,
How it's
what was that? Now that you fresh in
Yeah,
the promotion? What was that like,
just
man?
fucking, more expectations, bro. More expectations, but they ain't trying to kill me yet. So that's smooth. So
Okay.
that's what's up. That's what's up, man. My week was cool. I'm still in training for work, so I'm just doing reading all day. That's all I do. But I ain't tripping because it ain't hard. So we push on, man. We push on. We got some topics to get to. We ain't got a whole lot to get to per se, but the Nokia video dropped, and I want to know what y'all thought. Who do I let's who want it? Bros, how you felt about this video, man?
um, classic Drake nonsense, man.
What you
Classic
mean?
Drake nonsense. Like
Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
that song, that song not even meant for what he tried to attempt to do in the video. Um, it was supposed to be a whole different aesthetic, and my man's still running around here playing games like he ain't got spanked. So it's just he one of them niggas where you just gotta keep hitting him across his head for him to finally understand. So I mean, the shit in my mind that I had and vision for the video was totally different than what the fuck I saw. So I'm not to say that the video was bad, but I'm saying the aesthetic didn't match the video, which kind of took points away.
Mm-hmm.
Me, he's supposed to have some whole other shit going on. He's supposed to make us forget your problems, and now I'm remembering more problems. So
Facts. Facts. Ev,
yeah,
how you
Yeah,
felt about the video, man?
that's a fact, man. That video, it was like if I had to give it a score, bro, I gave it like a 4 or a 3 because it's my at one. Is also I am saying my expectations, and I know and I'm the man who said he hate the word expectations, but no, I was thinking of a different aesthetic, like Rose saying, bro. I was thinking of some ATL Cascade, like roller skating, like colorful vibes with the cell phones, taking it back to '03 or something like that. Like that's something that I was thinking he was gonna do. But he did nothing like that. He kind of just he did the black and white thing. I seen people online trying to make dissertations and overanalyzation of the video. Like, no, the black and white, that was for the Nokia phones being no screen. Man, look, if that was your only game plan to pay homage to Nokia, go. Don't care. I wanted to see colors, vibes, dancing, women. Like this song, like the baby girl part, you supposed to see everybody getting loose, like getting jiggy on some, like, you know, it's crazy. I see the video of Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta dancing, like, and it was a rip of Nokia over. And I'm like, bro, this is what the video should have been.
Mm-hmm.
With the little ballroom or something, everybody just
Mm-hmm.
vibing out. But
Mm-hmm.
no, you just got this black and white, and you still trying to do little
We
nudges at
we can
Kendrick.
call we can call it what
Come
it
on,
is,
bro.
man. We can call it what it is. This man took the time to shoot his own little Super Bowl performance. All right, that's what this was. That's what this was. Brett took the
That's
time,
funny, yeah.
take the IMAX play, and shoot your own little Super Bowl shot. To me, this video looked like Drake's attempt at a day free production. To me, that's what this looked like to me. I like
Oh,
it as far as like the shots. I enjoy the shots and shit, but as far as I agree with y'all though, for what the video is versus what I thought it was gonna be, come on, man. If we was gonna be getting past all of the beef and you unbothered by the beef, why we doing this, bro? When the last? Come on, man. Stop this, Drake. You gotta stop it. Go ahead, Ray.
I was blanking on her name, and I'm so terribly sorry. I'm going to try to look it up before we transition from this topic, because girl that did the choreography and the production behind it, she killed her job,
For
right?
sure.
And I don't want that to get lost in the sauce, because she be solid with the videos. As far as this particular song, man, I already feel like the song itself was borrowed. We already had those allegations moving around with the similarities,
Here you
and then
go.
to go
Here
into the
you go.
video. Hey, the video just kind of doubled down on it for me, man, because we seeing it. It sounds like a reach, but there are a lot of illusions of you copying Kendrick's moves, right? The whole little dance to squabble up, whatever they're saying, like intro into the video, that type of shit, and it's tough because I'm agreeing with what Rose said. This, if you were doing that, let's say if he was, this wasn't the track for that type. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't the track for you to try to clap back at Kendrick and copy his moves. Even down to it is Drake University. That's their actual college basketball jersey, right? But the Drake with the number one, and you still trying to tell us that you still him and whatnot. It's like, this wasn't the video, bro. And
Drake
where's
won.
Party?
Where's
Where's
Party?
Party? Bro,
yeah.
where was Party, bro? Not once in the video. You got Shy in there, which also adds to that thing you respond because DeMar DeRozan showed up and not like us. So you got Shy Alexander Gilchrist in there, popping in, getting to show off the new Converse deal that he has. He got his first shoe coming out. He's from Canada. I feel you. Where's Party? Like, where is Party? I don't know. It
He's at the
was
party playing with his nose now.
That's
All right.
crazy.
All right.
That's
All right.
crazy.
All right.
Because you might be right.
Overall, though,
He's
like
busy.
the thing that I still it even go back to the battle a little bit, right? Like it go back to, it just always seems to me that the nigga is out of touch with what's going on in reality versus what's going on in his rabbit ass mind. Like I can't understand my nigga. Everybody understood after a while. It was like, all right, if you just get you a little banger real quick, execute, we can let go of a lot of this shit and just move the fuck on. You finally catch your banger, and then you start playing again.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
my nigga, stop.
Yep.
Stop.
But
But it
I
goes.
guess in
I
the
mean,
same
I
sense,
think it
though.
goes in line real quick. I think it goes in
Yeah.
line with the fact that bruh doesn't know how to take a L. He been Pusha T since 2018, and it's like you could have been moved on from that, and folks let you move on from it, but you still keep going back. So it's like I don't see him ever really letting this go.
But it's outside the L for me. It's like I'm just out of touch with reality. Like that's how you moved in the battle. Like you outside of just the touch and the grips of what's going on.
Yeah.
And then like you use that the time to have your hottest, most recent song, you put more light on some shit that maybe,
Yeah.
just
It's
move
not
the
good.
fuck on.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm definitely with you.
But should you, I guess at the same time, if this is your first banger since everything happened, do you not try to capitalize on everything at once?
No.
For the
But
last year, this is all he's had to
where's the
like positive to his
capitalization
name.
though, for real? In this,
Like, where's the win? What did you
Yeah.
win? What you win?
And then even going back to, even if what you were trying to do wasn't related to Kendrick, you such of a vulture of fucking culture that it just looked like that's what you trying to do, because you don't have your own aesthetic. You don't have your own nothing, my nigga. So it's like your
So
attempt to even try to do some artsy shit seemed like another nigga shit.
and I think that's
so
a
it
big
did,
problem.
none of
Go
it
ahead.
seemed genuine. Like we don't have nothing genuine about it, even with him.
No,
Because it was supposed to be based off of
It's
Canada
like,
too.
but it's like, bro, you ain't had choreography in a video in damn near 10 years, bro.
come on, my nigga.
Fresh off the Super Bowl, bro, got all the women, they dancing together, the camera pans, all of this, and now here you come with the same shit.
Even
Come on,
Hotline
bro.
Bling, you was dancing by yourself, nigga.
It was at most you was dancing with two people.
Yeah.
At most,
You
it's
feel me?
like, come on, bro. We got the shot where it's like everybody is around him, and the thing is like that
That's
looked like a
Kendrick.
Super Bowl shot. Come
That's
on,
what it is.
come on, and
It's your attempt to troll and say, I can do this better.
but you didn't,
Yeah.
but you didn't, and you
You
didn't.
could have just had some hoes doing their thing, and now you
You
put
could have
like,
had the roller rink vibe out, a whole lot of colors, a whole lot of old cell phones, a whole lot of baggy pants, like the whole thing. You could have played the whole thing out, and it would have been like, oh yeah, bro, he back, and we
And
just
See,
moving.
y'all told him to go home. He went home. He don't get no credit for that.
but he didn't really go home.
He
Right?
did. He went to Canada. He got shy in there. The whole, even the album discrepancy. The album artwork was supposed to be like genuine. I believe Toronto type shit, like because they even had that in the video.
Yeah,
Those two
CN
towers.
Tower or something like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he went home.
Oh, I'm thinking you referring to something else. We would say take his ass home, like go away. That's what we were referring to.
But that's the truth too. Like,
Yeah, like go away
niggas want
for
you
a
to
while,
disappear.
for a minute, go into that hyperbolic chamber, and then
Then
come
you
back.
He
pop
been
back
gone
up
for a
and fucking
year.
party.
No, he
He's
hasn't.
been.
You sued right after.
I'm talking musically. I'm talking musically. He's
You
been
dropped
gone
it.
for
You
the
dropped
last
a little
thing we had.
freestyle. You dropped a little
He
freestyle.
didn't. Yeah, he was dropping no gigs, the 100 gigs.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you was
The
dropping
100
that. You
gig
had
had-
little leak records with Cardi. You was dropping. You dropped No Face. You had the 3-pack, and then you had a leak, the little freestyle on LeBron James. Then you sued. You ain't went nowhere, bro. You right
And
here.
Bro,
bro,
I'm talking
and
about
if you
he
really even
hasn't
look
put
at that,
out. It wasn't official. He hasn't put out nothing official.
this shit
Even
on
the
Apple.
100, the 100 gig thing was
It's
a leak.
No Face is on Apple Music. The other 2 records that he put out is on Apple Music. All of them is 3 of them records is out.
These is real
sure.
songs.
3 of them
You're right.
joints is out.
You're right.
Just because it wasn't
I'm
packaged,
just saying we got.
just because it wasn't packaged the way niggas wanted to see it, don't make it unreal. And he was really trying to test the water, and that's why he was dropping them songs. And niggas was like, "This shit ass."
I
I saw someone
You,
say,
you always tell me you fuck with the No Face song.
I like No Face.
I think if all that shit wouldn't have happened, that song would have had some motion and some traction.
I think if he does nothing the whole way through and then drops No Face, it look a little different. I think it look a little bit different.
Go back, and then now you talking that tough shit again, and niggas is like,
True.
all right,
that's true. That is true.
I saw someone say Shy only came in this video because he's still mad that the Clippers traded him, so he couldn't be in LA.
Also, so I want to say one thing too about this video. This is for the fans, real quick. Can we please stop talking about the arguing of Nokia versus Luther, because the fans online keep arguing like Nokia's about to be number one. It's walking Luther down because Luther's been number one for like 7 weeks now, and Nokia's like has been consistently challenging forward, but not winning. And because the music video is now come out, of course, I believe right, and I believe like now. I think they've now been reporting it's had its like biggest weeks and days since the music video. Mm-hmm. If you're competing with a song that came out in motherfucking November, I don't think you're really competing, brother.
Well, I was about to say that too. I was like, how do you compete with a number one song? Like you trying to catch up to what it's doing.
And that's what I mean when I'm saying, like, can the fans please just shut the fuck up a little bit? Because it's Drake fans trying to grasp at anything to get a win. It's like, oh my God. Like hell, I just seen niggas get excited because the damn Party album outsold Drake album finally. Like niggas, I just seen niggas all over Twitter.
Ew.
Yeah, I think GNX came in number 4, and the Party shit and Drake shit came in at number 3. Niggas was, we finally here, nigga. Well, yeah, we finally here.
Yeah,
The album
everybody
been
got to
out
let it
since
go.
November, dog. Like
Everybody
I
got to
think
let it
it's I think it's
it's
even down so to the point to where I think they waited to not drop the Luther video and to let this come out first.
go. Let it cook.
And then
Let it do
niggas
this.
will see the difference of what shit's
yeah,
supposed to look like. Because now you're not only working with the resources of what Kendrick got and Dave Free, but you're gonna get a top dog budget too. And this shit can really just look ridiculous.
yeah.
Facts.
This
That's
this
all.
could be a different kind of video.
So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because like it's just stupid that the conversation is just fucking stupid. It's an album from
Oh,
November, a song from November, who also got the boost from the Super Bowl. You can't compete where you don't compare right now, gang. It's just
But
not
you
it.
know, numbers is his bread and butter. That's always been the staple argument for him. So they didn't
Well,
switch up on anything in
it
his
is the
regard.
music business.
The sales was a major piece of the argument. It may not be the only argument, but his numbers have always been
yeah.
a bulk
Once they
of his
cleared him
weight.
for not writing his records, he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna just go numbers with y'all."
But anybody that's on top, whole shit is gonna be numbers. That's the whole thing about being. It is the music business still. Like
For sure,
Hmm.
that's fair. It's
I,
fair
I,
work, but
I
I
get
mean,
it. If
I
you
get
number
it.
one, you gonna pop your shit about
Yeah,
having
being number one.
ridiculous numbers.
Yeah,
And then when you look at the numbers, how far he is in front of motherfuckers. uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta pop your shit. But I do think that's becoming now like kind of a double edged sword when it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
to whatever he doing. Because now it's like you centered everything around the numbers, and when you don't perform, we gonna notice. And then you got to create a narrative around that. And then when you do perform, we gotta take heed and be like, oh yeah, no, this shit is the greatest. So it's, yeah, you kind of fuck yourself a little bit because now either which way it go, it's a narrative involved.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I
Um,
I'm not. I don't want to. I do feel like this video is a good launching point for him because being able to do a collab album let him ease back in to the attention to set himself up to do a solo album.
mhm.
So if you're starting off with the videos like this, and that's why I was part of or still partially on the side of you took advantage of the situation to try to send those subtle shots because this is bringing people's attention to it. You can still play around and act like that's not what it was, and that's a possibility. It may not be what it was. You can and still have fans in a situation to where they have to reach
Mhm.
until confirmed, right? And then when you slide into your solo album type stuff and you really start kicking it off, it could go either which way. So I think it was still a good move to put him back in the graces, if you will, or just at least in the spotlight. Maybe not the graces, but put him back in the spotlight so people are paying attention to something he's doing, especially with the fact that Party wasn't even in the video. Like this was a solo Drake track, bro. Like it was just him. I hate that Party loses his shine again. That was the whole shtick anyway.
More
But
vulture activity.
you feel me? But
More vulture activity.
it's just one of those. It's like, all right, so it's all him. You got the Drake number one, and then he's still shooting for round two.
yeah.
We know that he said that he's still shooting for round two. What that looked like, I don't know. Is it relevant? Don't know. But it's gotten to the point now. Unfortunately, you can't say his name without saying Kendrick's and vice versa. And I hate that for both of them.
Yeah, facts.
I do.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. That is a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like it. I would almost argue it's coming to the point where it almost looks like a crab in a barrel. Is like, all right, cool. You took me down, but everything you do from here on out is going to be tied to my name, whether it be the lawsuit, whether it be this music you talking about, people talking about I'm taking some shots, this, that, and the third. Everything from
I
here on
mean,
out is
yeah,
going to be in direct comparison to me.
I think that was gonna always be the case after that point though, because once you have a battle of that magnitude, y'all will always it's like it's to the point now like hip hop heads wise, you talk about Jay-Z, you gonna bring up Nas at some point. You know what I'm
At
saying? Like but I'm saying like as time goes on, I'm sure it'll probably dwindle out a little bit, but it'll always be a part of that story because that battle was as big as it was. It's not. It's I don't think it'll ever be a point where it's like we can bring up Kendrick and nobody will ever be like, yo, you remember what he did to Drake though? I don't think we'll ever get there.
I'm not saying completely separate. And maybe because we were younger at the time, but even with the Jay and Nas thing, is like with Drake and Kendrick, they're in the same sentence every single time. And maybe because it's still fresh. I know people will say like, yeah, Jay, Nas, whatever the case may be. But like you said, at some point, so there's conversations about whatever they did respectively to an extent. And then you include, yeah, man, you remember that battle that they had between them? But it's like, nah, you talking about, you'll bring up Nas, you bring up Illmatic, you bring up Jay, you bring up, you know what I'm saying? You talk about their work, you talk about what they might have meant to the scene. Nas is this great writer. Jay might be the greatest of all time. It's like, but then, oh yeah, you remember that battle they had though? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of down
Yeah.
the list. As of right now, everything,
Yeah, I mean,
everything.
it's
You
still a
say
year
Drake, you
out.
say Kendrick, you say
And
Kendrick, you
that's the
say Drake.
thing.
Yeah,
It ain't enough music put out by them enough to get away from
get
it.
away from like even the latest music is still they still dissing each other type
Yeah.
shit. So it's like we still in the throes of it. It's just now kind of calmed down, and we don't know if it's gonna boot all the way back up or if they just gonna let it fizzle out type
Which
shit.
was also the struggle too, because I think even reviewing GNX is, if you are standing over the body, did you need to reference the body again? And I know you are artist, you more than welcome to do whatever it is that you want to do, but that added to that, to this current scenario. But I do still think he set himself up to possibly get punched in the mouth again, dog. Like, I don't know.
So,
Yeah, he set himself up to potentially, whatever he do with his solo work is going to be pending next. And I'm willing to bet that he gonna drop something by the end of May to be the attention in the summer. I feel like, because that's where his bag is. I feel like he's trying to come, at least give us a single for the summer.
I
you
was
want to put
thinking
a
he would try to push another song
you want to put
from
a
the album.
wager on that? You want to put a wager on that?
I'm not mad at that. What you talking?
Little friendly 40, little friendly 40 on the record.
From the 44, what specifically? For a
First
record?
you
Just a
said
record in general?
a record by the end of May to be a summer joint.
It is April. Don't forget that.
Yeah, it's April. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it is
saying.
April, so it
We
give him
had
2 months. Because I don't know. Does he have? He might do a. All right, let me clarify. It doesn't have to be him. Because does it have to be him solo, or like, say for example, if he do a Brian Steele video, do we count
it's
that since it was a
it's
part of a collab
your
album?
it's your scenario, brother. I'm letting you run the table here.
I wouldn't be willing to bet May. I'd be more willing to bet June.
So by June, all right. So by June, he has a record that's not tied to this album, or is still tied to this album. That's pushing for summer record.
I'm saying summer record in general. I don't know about tied to the album or not. I think he's setting himself up to release a solo album, but because of the fact that we know that Brian Steele record was really responding to Kendrick in a lot of the other situations, he still doesn't have to go out and do another dolo record if he's continuing with it. So it creates
I get,
like a tricky situation.
I'll
You feel
take
what I'm saying?
I'll take a friendly 40 on that. If we get a
Yeah.
Brian Steele video by the end of June, you'll win the bet. I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
take
Cool.
that.
Cool.
See, I was thinking he would probably push "Give Me a Hug" more because it's
Yeah,
more of
or
a
that,
response he can
or
get
that.
because you can do the because just you can antagonize Joe Budden with that, and you could do that
Yeah.
again, which that just
Yeah,
stirs
that's a
up
fact.
news. So push that
Um,
video out. That's what I'm probably was thinking if he did anything.
Same thing. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah.
so Drake, along with his lawsuit, is gonna move forward. At this point, they're not gonna go ahead and dismiss it. They ruled that UMG hasn't proved the burden of how extraordinary it would be to get all of this information over to him. So with that being said, it's gonna move forward as such. Meaning we might get the open book on UMG and how they promote records and Kendrick's Kendrick's dealings, I guess, with UMG. I, I don't like none of this, man. I don't like any of this coming off a rap beef, bro. I don't want to see your contracts because you beat me in a rap beef. I don't want to see the intricacies of how the label decided to promote records because I lost the rap beef. Like that. I don't like none of this. This ain't hip hop. How y'all feel about this?
it's not hip hop in the sense of the rap beef, but it's it's a music thing. It's a music industry thing. And it's gonna highlight a lot of what might be going on with we stuff that we already know, just like we've spoken about this before. Stuff that we already know. We just don't like the name associated to it. If
I
it
don't
was
like
a
the action
situation with
because
somebody
you.
else,
I don't like the action because you knew this what was going on when it was going on for you, and it was cool. But
oh yeah,
now,
don't get me wrong. The way
now you want to
the
open
person
up
and
the
how he
books
did it,
and be
yeah.
a martyr and let me show y'all what's going on behind the scenes. We know what was going on behind the scenes because we know they was doing it for you.
Oh, for
Don't
sure. I'm not taking
don't
that
try to
away.
burn the whole that's my thing. Don't try to burn down the whole building because you lost.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. Don't that's whack. Don't take the ball home with you and we can't play basketball no more because you got put off the court in 21 this time. Just come back for the next game, bro. You got to be whack and take the ball and go home and not can't nobody else play. That's some bullshit.
And the thing is, you wait. You lost 21 two other times, and we didn't get this far.
You feel me? You feel me?
So we more mad at it. We more mad at the person doing it outside of the actual lawsuit itself. Because is the lawsuit itself not something potentially positive? Let's
No,
act wasn't Drake. It's not potentially positive for
no,
y'all. You're artists. You telling me I'm asking genuinely.
oh, it's
Why not?
not because
To
now at this
expose how
point,
the record label
it's
that's
not what.
moving possibly doing dirt.
No, we already
Okay.
know that. We
All
already
right.
know that. Like that's like. Go ahead,
I hate
Los.
the fact he even tried to dress it up as the way that he tried to dress it, which was, oh, this is for other artists. We need to see what they're doing behind the scenes. Nigga, you know what they're doing. So it's like just the fact that you even dressing it up that way is trying to spin the narrative
It's
of
disingenuous.
what's going on. So it's, I don't know,
and,
man.
and on top of that, it's like on the flip, like I'm not necessarily for lyrics in court unless it's actual crimes being committed type shit, and it could be used as like actual evidence. Outside of that, we talk. If I'm talking rap, if we just rapping and this is creative expression and all of that, you lining it up for folks to get jammed up on bullshit because you got bruh talking about well, he said I was at this in the record. You're rapping, it's beef.
If it is going forward, what's the potential ramifications behind this?
It depends because it could still get dismissed. Like it could still.
It could get dismissed, but all of this was really about him not getting the bag that he wanted when he was potentially supposed to resign. And that's what this is all really about. Yeah, I got smacked upside the head, and he's saying, hey, y'all tried to bring me down. So the next time that I did sign, it wasn't worth the same amount of money. But contrary to even that, bro, you the biggest person in the game. Like they either play ball or they don't, and you mad because they didn't want to give you the bag, bro. We don't have to give it to you.
Facts. And if we looking at it just honestly, the most of your streaming shit is not from your latest shit.
Yeah.
Which shows me why would I give you a bigger bag now? I'm not making the most money off of your recent stuff. And let you tell it, you giving me bullshit in the process of that. So like what we come on, bro. Stop
And
playing
let
games.
you tell it if you keeping the lights on, what does that do for us to bring your numbers down? Like how does that serve us?
None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. From a mathematical standpoint, a logic standpoint, you just upset because you're not getting what you want.
Together
And
as
you
a
throwing a temper
collective to
tantrum.
get me
That
out
shit
the
whack.
way. Like, nah, my nigga, stop.
That's not true.
Bro, what does that do for them? If I'm keeping the lights on, which at UMG is Drake and Taylor, like if these are the only people keeping all this shit on, why would I try to bring your shit down? That doesn't serve me in business.
Yeah.
That's working against myself and my self-interest.
Yeah, I'm shooting myself in the foot. Why would I shoot half of my biggest half of the roster that I got that's keeping the lights on? Why would I devalue half of it?
Right.
Let me see.
But it's just
that argument never made sense to me.
It does because it doesn't make any sense.
I think they got enough to cover the spread. I think that's why. So if I'm looking at as of April 2025, their biggest artists: Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Drake, The Weeknd, Kendrick Lamar, and Post Malone. You take away Drake, Post Malone's already doing his numbers. Weeknd's been doing his numbers. Kendrick's on, I guess, quote unquote, on the rise, and Billie Eilish has her own cult following. And same with Taylor
Now
Swift.
go
you're missing a key part.
Go look at the difference in the numbers. If you're saying doing their numbers, yeah, because they're big artists. look at the discrepancy in the numbers of how far Drake and Taylor Swift are ahead of everybody else. It
Yeah,
is a vast difference.
yeah, it's crazy.
And
And
then when you say covering the spread, you're not covering the spread because when if you take away those streams, who do you have actually supplementing that outside of the people you listed?
and you
That's
got to
where
They
you
take a
got to
short.
get.
They take a short loss for I don't
That's
think the
not a. That's
loss
not
is
even a
It ain't a
considered
short
a
short
loss.
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 That's a big. If it is short, it's a big
if
loss.
we
Well, no,
taking
because he
if we
did.
taking
No, what
Larry
I'm saying
Jackson real quick, if we taking Larry Jackson at his word that Drake's music alone is bigger than 4 decades of music in streaming.
is,
If you remove that, Post Malone, Billie Eilish, and The Weeknd and Kendrick, they not covering that, bro.
And not
No,
well,
no.
covering.
let me
And
ask it.
nobody
Does
that's
he?
up and coming is helping to cover that.
Well, okay. As far as I know, he don't own his masters, right? So you still have his streams.
We don't know. We
Yeah. So
don't exactly know.
if I'm UMG in that situation and I own your masters, I'm still getting those streams with or
I don't
without
know
you.
if UMG owns his masters though.
I don't
Quick.
believe UMG owns his masters. What you call it? Because he was with through Young Money, which was through I forget who was the other company that they were under, but
Uh,
Birdman got them masters, and
right,
it's starting to get to the point where now the time I don't know how long where his masters revert back to him, but it's
right.
starting to get probably closer to that time,
I thought
closer than not. But when somebody gives you
like
seven
30
hundred
years or
million
something like
dollars,
that.
you're not getting your masters.
But I thought
Oh
it was
yeah,
like
they're gonna
30
keep it
years
to
or
the
something
right.
like that. He still got some time. Either way, I thought it was 30 years because
That's
they
publishing.
what's my man?
That's
Yeah.
publishing.
Oh, publishing. Never mind. All
Yeah,
right.
but the masters itself,
It
after you leave,
depends.
depending on what it was, those will revert back to you in a certain amount of time, more than likely. But if UMG
You
give you $800 million, I'm not sure how those contract works with because they're going to want those past masters as well. So I'm not
mhm.
sure how that works. But if I give you $700 million, you don't own shit.
Okay. So specifically, at
Not at
least
all.
this is what it's saying.
Hold on, Ray. Hold on. If you give him 700 million, you taking everything off the back end?
You don't own shit.
700 mil.
You don't get nothing. No
Yeah.
rice. No nothing.
All right, go
You
ahead,
don't get
Ray.
nothing, bro.
Now, so a quick search, at least from what it's saying, Drake owns his masters to his music release under his OVO sound. So that's like Certified Lover Boy, Dark Lane demo tapes. But anything pre 2018, UMG owns that. The
Okay.
Young Money
And
catalog is
that's what they're
owned by
making the most
UMG.
money off of.
Yeah,
You feel
That's
me?
what they're
So
making the
if
most money off of.
free catalog.
so if I still
So
got your best work,
why would I give you 700 million at this point
no,
if
no,
I'm
no,
making
no. I'm
all
talking about UMG still like to what y'all were saying. We end up. Why would I sue or why would I go through this if I lose my biggest artist? It's like, nah, I still got your best work. Your biggest streams are still owned by me, so I could cover the spread. Is what I was saying. We could lose you. I said I got your
I see
best
what you're
work.
saying.
Your
I see what you're
highest
saying.
streams
If I'm
are
getting the
owned by
most
me.
money off the
Oh, I see what
streams
you're
that I
saying. I
still
get what you're
own,
saying.
me devaluing you at this point and I don't own none of the
Yeah.
stuff you putting out going forward doesn't
Yeah,
really matter.
like 2018 forward. So like even all the way up to I guess his collab albums with was it Thug album?
21. No, that was
21.
15. That was 15.
I'm
Thug out.
Future. When was the
Future
Future album?
the future was 15. That's 2015.
So
You got your
wait. So do
what?
they own
What?
Scorpion too? Because you said since 2018, because
Uh,
that
Yeah,
was
I
June
mean,
2018. If they own Scorpion, then yeah, buddy, you're
sir,
cooked. We're
sir.
not giving you
Okay,
anything.
what are we doing
Like
here?
that is now, Ray. When you explain it that way, I do agree with you.
but
That, see,
even the
that,
what,
way
what are
that
we
you
I
doing here?
wasn't
explained it,
getting it your way.
even the way you explained it when they just dropped the most recent album, that's OVO under exclusive license to Republic, which is UMG.
Facts.
Then okay, so I'm still saying we could lose you and I still have your work. The spread is covered.
Bro,
I'm still getting your
not
streams.
though. It's still the biggest
I ain't
artist
mad
in
at
the
it.
We don't
world,
get
bro.
your future shit. Yeah, cool. All right, I don't get your future shit. I have your best albums still coming into my numbers.
And them
Your
albums,
best
like
work.
you can keep it a bean. We can keep it clean. I ain't stopped streaming none of them albums.
None.
Like the new shit, I don't want to hear that shit. But if it's some old Drake I'm trying to get to, I don't have no
Take
problem.
Yeah, but I'm
care.
saying
I
Number
just
like
I
for
just
all the
listened to
three.
Care
dogs,
Package the other
for
day.
all the dogs
feel
in
me?
2023, and that was a very big album. Like,
Was it bigger than Nothing Was the Same?
No.
Take care.
I mean, I would have to
It was
physically go look at the numbers,
no, well,
but that was back then.
it was on par though. I know
Numbers wise, it was in the streaming area. It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
because
yeah,
for
it
all the
was on
dogs,
par.
it streamed crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, it is on par.
That's
I'm not gonna
under
hold you.
UMG. We
I'm cool
don't.
with that. You're one from my three. If I add, if you're reading this, it's too late. I got 3 of your big and Scorpion. Take For All the Dogs.
For All the Dogs did 402 first week. I think Nothing Was the Same did like 6.
And that's it. That's what niggas was still
And
fucking
that's
with
when
CDs.
and that's when folks were still buying albums. So it's like
You
we
can have
not
it.
too far off.
We
Nah,
not
you
too
I
far
don't
You
off.
can have
we
it.
not that
I
far
got
off, bro.
4 of your biggest, bro, that are
I
still
It doesn't
It ain't.
understand.
It
cover
ain't
the
even
streaming
spread
for your
now.
though.
biggest. I have all of your biggest. Really, I have
all.
everything.
Okay,
I
there
got
we go. I
everything
got all
except
your
your
work.
new
I'm
stuff.
trying to give you
When you
space.
think about
Yeah,
it, like
I don't think
yeah.
it covered the spread how you think, and in business, that is a gamble, what you're talking about. That is a big gamble after you've paid somebody that much money to even try to fuck with your self-interest and shoot yourself in the foot like that because you think the spread is gonna be covered. Now, let's just say you have that concept. Now, The Weeknd flop and Post Malone flop when they drop. How are we gonna cover this spread?
Yeah, I'm okay. Let me
Possible. It's
add
possible.
context to it. We talking about the spread post you taking this
and the
massive
weekend
loss.
talking about
Your
retiring.
perception. Yeah, the weekend is talking about, but your
Like
perception right now is not the same perception as Drake whenever you first started making these contract negotiations. Right? We at least can admit we can stand on that if we keeping it clean. Your perception as Drake is not the same as number one big baller in the world that it was before.
Perception versus business and numbers are two completely different things.
Perception goes into the business. It does. Perception
He's
is a
gonna
part
put
of his
down a
business.
certain number, and he's gonna show, hey, this is why I deserve this. Fuck what the people outside think. This is what it is. This is what keep the lights on. So we can say perception. Now, if he continues to drop music and it doesn't do what it has been doing, yeah, of course we can't give you that number. But I'm saying currently, with off of From All the Dogs to this, I don't know how much this album is really selling, but if you're going from 2023, or even 2022, 2023, this, I mean, bro, you got to give him his bag.
This
It's
one,
For all
still
the
that.
this Some Sexy Songs for You did 246,000 first week.
Which
we were
ain't
just talking about it's competing with the album that came out
which
in
is the same
October.
thing that Honestly Nevermind did. So matter of fact, this is actually a good point because like when you were saying it too, nigga, you've been threatening us to give you the bag and you've been giving us your quote unquote booth. The sales are reflecting it in a way. Yeah, For All the Dogs did great. Certified Lover Boy did great. We got 2 projects that you just did that they did great for any other artist by doing over 200. But for your standards,
I
it
mean,
ain't.
we got that 21
those are
project too.
also solo albums. So
True.
But it's a part of the game though. Of you talking about demanding certain things, we're demanding a certain thing from you every time you come out the game because of your drop rate. Because that's another part that can't be replaced with a Drake. Is
I don't
his
know how that
drop rate.
contract works
A
though
Drake
when you
album.
drop joint albums. I don't know how that works for his contract specifically. I don't know if it runs into this counts as an album because this isn't a solo project.
Facts. And just for reference, that joint did 404, which is on par with For All the Dogs.
Which
So
one?
it's
Which
like
one did?
the one he had with 21.
Oh, okay. Oh shit.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
what I'm
like
saying.
Her
it's
loss.
tough. It's
Her loss.
yeah. Her loss did 404. And that's fresh all and then did he follow that with Honestly Nevermind, or was Honestly Nevermind before that?
I think honestly, Nevermind was before.
Honestly, wait.
That should have been
Her
before.
loss was November 2021, wasn't it? If so, Honestly Nevermind
Yeah,
was
honestly,
Before that?
Nevermind was before her loss.
Okay.
Oh, it was?
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So
I thought he dropped right before Beyonce, which was like in 2022.
No, that was June 17th is her loss.
So to be clear, what
I
he
mean, June
has
17th is honestly Nevermind. Her loss is November 4th.
right.
So
what
he
he
goes
has under
same year?
him, it's Certified Lover Boy and Beyond would fall under him. And based on the way that is reading, that includes For All the Dogs, Her Loss. So it looks like even the collab
Her Loss
album
and Honestly Nevermind is the same year. So if you
yeah.
put them together, that's 204,000 and 404,000 first week within a couple months. That's kind of crazy.
And that's where I'm saying, like
crazy.
his
I'm not
drop
taking that
rate
away.
that you can't
That's
replace.
kind of crazy.
His drop, and then think about again with the people you listed, they aging out of the game and they don't drop like he do.
Yeah, that's the
Billie
other thing
Eilish?
that
Like that's what I'm saying. His
that's the other
drop
thing
rate
that
is
really
the
does
thing.
kind of like make Drake an anomaly a little bit, because Drake dropped damn near like it was I think between
He was going every year.
Yeah, he was going every year up until like the pandemic happened, and they was like counting the days, like this is the longest
I took
in
two
between
hands. This
Drake
shit was
drops
bigger than
type
you.
shit.
My bad.
Because you got to think, bro. This is
Nigga said you for the fall in the cup, nigga.
No, this shit is massive, bro. Like,
Bro,
Yeah, that's crazy.
you can't even hold that joint with one hand. Pause.
Pause.
Hey, yo, son.
My goodness.
All right then.
Oh
But yeah,
shit.
Oh man.
but that's the thing though. Like when you got Drake like with a massive drop rate like that, and Drake is so good and has been out for so long, he has music that's not on streaming that he can just say, got it cleared. Here you go. Here's another 150 at least, like care package. When he dropped that years ago, that's like even if he don't drop a solo actual new release, he can give you 12 tracks. Hey, these from '08, these from '09, and that y'all love that's just not here no more. Like
Okay.
Dark Lane Demo, like he's giving you Lucy's and he's like, hey, here, just take a project. And
For
that's where
sure.
it's adding it to that drop rate, was just increasing the number rate of you niggas can't duplicate me and you can't
So then
replicate
let
me.
me ask you this, because
Not at that
y'all
rate,
three,
no.
y'all three were just talking about what he's dropped within the last year, and the numbers haven't looked the same. So based off of what you just said and the sample size that we got post Kendrick, post this whole thing, are we still taking the bet that it's going to show the same numbers as for all these other albums? I'm not taking away what he did then,
I
but
mean,
y'all were just talking
if
about it
I'm
wasn't the same.
if I'm looking at it, if I just looked at it, I think him and Party Project did 200 something. Honestly, Nevermind did 200 something.
It's on saying
Nevermind wasn't after Kendrick.
Right, but I'm saying like pre Kendrick he was doing 200. Post Kendrick he did 200. It's
He
like
dropped
and
and it's an album, and
like
it's an
that
album
said.
that's not like
Yeah,
big
and it's like
budgeted put out.
that part too. So it's like we haven't seen him with a full rollout.
With his slate.
Like,
'Cause
you know what I mean?
we ain't
And I
seen
don't
him post a
and to be clear,
billboard.
to be honest, we don't actually know what his next real rollout might look like, because since he kind of on the outs with the label right now, type shit.
This most recent album wasn't, I guess you said big budget. This most recent album wasn't directly under that. Was that his own work?
No, it's a collab album with Party.
No, I'm saying, but when you say big budget, it had nothing to do with the label at all. This was just them under
No,
I
I'm
OVO
mean, it's
Sound.
licensed to UMG, but I mean, you could tell that it wasn't the
It was
same
like
type
it
of
was
more-
self-promoted.
rollout.
It was
it was like self-promoted. They had
was self-promoted on live streams, really.
Okay. I don't know. I still might be on the side of I'm not confident that UMG is losing as much, but I have to see it. I can understand what y'all are saying. I don't want to take away from that. I can understand what y'all are saying. I might have to see what he does, and then maybe he could circle back to it. But
Yeah, I would just put it this way, right? If you are even in talks with somebody for them to almost give you $1 billion, I could only imagine what some of the back end and a lot of the business workings and dealings we don't understand, how much that would affect them if he goes the fuck away.
For sure. Do you think part of the reason they said no is because he still wanted to own his masters? Like you said, I'm not about to give you 700.
1,000%.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's always funny business when niggas start getting their stuff back.
yeah, facts. That's a fact. That
We've
is a
seen it
fact.
time and time again.
Speaking of funny business, man. Personally, for me, I'm gonna just call this a W for the culture. No Jumper is going broke, you guys. No Jumper is almost on the way up out of here. Nasty Man Adam pulled up last week to let us know that they are not making enough money. They are trying to downsize. They are trying to sell their space, and they're asking for sponsorships and donations. Donations.
Lena's honey pot not worth that much? It's
Huh?
not covering.
You said
Lena's
what?
honey pot not covering the spread?
Nah. The plug talk is they cut the plug off. You dig what I'm saying?
Pimping out your wife and
I'm
still
happy.
going broke is crazy.
I'm happy. I'm not necessarily on the sense like I enjoy seeing
pimping
people
out your
fail,
wife and still
but
going broke is crazy.
I
will not let that. Pimping out your wife and still going broke is absolutely insane.
Well, he said that specific business.
Yeah, he didn't say that that part of their business is going broke. So his other ventures are okay. It's no Jumper specifically that's going broke.
So if your business is going broke and the breadwinner is your wife being in this situation,
Well, I can't
if
say
the
that.
if the
We
breadwinner
don't know
is,
that though.
Yeah, we don't know that.
I don't care no shits about no Adam 22. So here's what I'm sticking with.
Okay.
I just want to give I
right.
just want to give an accurate depiction on what's going on and not
The accurate depiction is a video of her floating around with Jason Love, and then now all of a sudden this is going to be the income for your family.
Why do
because
you
no
know his
justice.
name? Why
'Cause
do
he's
you know
black.
that?
You a gooner, ain't you?
Support the brothers, nigga. Yeah, you
Did you
thought
just say because he's
almost,
black?
almost.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
almost. Try again. Pivot.
Nah, it ain't no pivot.
Because
Why do
she's
you know
black.
that brother's
Pivot
name?
faster. Why you know what gooning is?
Real
Niggas.
goon.
I'm just trying to make
Real
sure
goon, man.
that I understand. You
No.
know his name because he's black.
Do you
So
know
you have a
all the black male
Rolodex
porn
of
stars
black.
names?
That's where I'm going. So you got a Rolodex of them?
Do you
You
know
know
all
all
black
of them.
male porn star names?
That's where we going?
If you want to do this,
You said it,
so
brother.
so you never
You
watch
said
videos?
it.
Somebody
Is this
put
what
your
we
shoes
doing?
on.
You
Somebody
said
put your
it.
shoes on.
No,
You
no,
never
no,
watch
no, no, no,
videos?
no, no, no. So
Nah,
you're
nah,
pivoting
I'm
away
responding
to
to you.
me when I'm asking you a question.
No.
Sir.
Yeah, you act like I don't know a certain character's name. Yeah, I do. And
I
you
was just
don't.
wondering. I was just.
You,
I
so
didn't.
you never watch videos, is what you're saying.
I didn't say I did or didn't. I ain't the one that put
Uh,
out here and said I know Jason
I'm
Love's name.
responding to you. I'm responding to you. So you don't support your people.
Is that the wait? Is that how he's framing this?
That's
That
how I'm
boy
framing
just
it.
did
That's
a
what you
different
support.
spin.
That's what you
That boy,
supporting your people doing.
Buddy. What?
Hold on, Ray. What are you supporting your people doing?
Whoa. I thought it was an ISO. Wait.
If this was fair,
Yeah,
Because
you
you
would
went all
say,
three.
wait,
If you went all
hold
three.
on,
If you went all three, I'm gonna run it down the gauntlet.
I want you. No, come on, because
Yeah,
I
y'all
like
go
where
ahead.
you're going with this. What?
Put your shoes
What?
on. Y'all lace up. Go ahead.
Did you just say I don't
Respond to what I
support my
said.
people because I didn't
That's
know
what I said.
that line of work? Probably not, because I no.
Oh, okay. So who are you watching?
oh man.
Oh,
That was a great one.
you want to pander?
I
You
don't know
wanna pander?
names, buddy. I don't know names. I'm a Twitter porn aficionado. I don't know names. It's just it'd be clips,
I
buddy.
can't help.
I don't know what you're talking
If I
about.
know, if I
I
look
don't
up
know
a
what
woman
you
and
talking
that's who
about.
pops in, if I look up a woman and that's who
I
pops in,
ain't
you
researching
know
hard
what?
enough to know the name. See.
I'm
I got
researching
you,
the
buddy.
women.
Categories. You
If I
you
look
said
up
a
a
man's
woman,
name. You said a man's name though.
because he be in the video with the women.
So you've gotten familiar with him enough to know his name.
What? Because he's been with certain women.
So when you look at a video, no face, no case, you be like, I know that's Jason Love.
No, whoa. See, you added a whole different.
You know these niggas' names.
You added a whole different context, my guy. You added a whole different context.
You know what I'm saying? You searching up, and you said you search up women names and be finding these men, and you know these men's names.
The men.
So
in the video.
but
What's happening?
think
right
about
here?
it. Are you looking at them? Are you? This is also the same man who last week asked us, are we asking our wives about the man? So I'm just trying to get going on here, Ray. What we doing?
The same
Here?
nigga that lied to us last week said she happy to see me. Because feedback on that has not been in your favor, my brother. you don't want to reach down that direction. She happy to see me was the reach of all reaches. You don't want to go down that path.
It was a joke too. You know, I laughed right after I said it. It was a joke too.
Yeah, no,
but
that's
here,
okay.
I mean, you still ain't answered my question here. I'm just going down the rabbit hole of
why do you know his name?
Boom.
Because he be in the video with the women.
But I don't know his name.
Table that till we get towards the end. We go double back on that.
Okay.
All right. How do y'all feel about No Jumper going broke? Because we got way far off.
Yeah, but table that.
That was crazy. Rose, you got any feedback on No Jumper going broke?
I think this is a move that he also made because he's being sued too by a former employee, and you got to start kind of dress stuff up when people are trying to get paid. Do I believe that they're going broke? No, but due to his explanation of what the business has been like pre-COVID and post-COVID, it does make sense a little bit because, you know, everything does return to the median. I think he made some moves, especially like having a warehouse in California. That rent is probably
insane,
astronomical.
Yeah.
And then you had your most, important people leave, which messes up content. But overall, I mean, outside of all that, I've been wanting him to get the fuck on for a really long time.
Yeah,
If we ever thought somebody worked for the CIA, it would be Adam 22.
facts.
Yeah.
What
Facts.
was his name at all tied in the rest of the shenanigans that's happening out there? Do we know?
I mean, he said the feds called him, but we don't. I can't.
Yeah,
I
but it's
can't
But
just
I'm
confirm.
asking like specifically
Oh,
in
I
the
don't
case. Do
know.
we
No,
know?
I don't think
Okay.
so. No, I mean, no,
Okay.
they use certain
The
clips
videos.
and shit from when people was up there talking
it's
in
public. It's public
in yeah,
information.
it's
Like,
public information.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
his name
No,
is tied in that way. The same, you
but
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
but
I'm not
taking
saying that. I mean, like, I don't know if he was a
Nah,
part
he's
of
not
that.
like listed as an informant or no shit.
no.
No,
Okay.
we ain't seen that.
Okay.
But I'm
We ain't seen
saying
that. But in
to
my
watch
view,
the
it's like
change.
if you giving the platform up to do this, it's the same shit to me. And that's why niggas need
I'm
to get
saying
you the
for
fuck
me
out of
to watch the change in hip hop because people like DJ Academics and Adam 22 came around.
here. Yeah. DJ
And
Vlad.
you dressing things up. And I said this recently on Twitter, like you're having niggas go on a public platform that is labeled. I don't know if No Jumper is labeled hip hop technically, but you're using real life shit, asking and dressing up questions a certain way, and people are going up, and people are gonna go up here to further their name and tell on themselves, and like what you're doing, and you're labeling that as hip hop journalism, which is not.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Some bullshit.
it
I
has
also,
messed with the culture, bro. Like it's a direct
I,
correlation to some of the shit that's being accepted in hip
mhm.
hop currently due to what he's done.
Because when you look at it, you give like at a certain time, especially at the time when his shit was blowing up, it's like all of when there was the big pushback between the mumble rappers and the little wild rappers versus like traditional hip hop or just rather like more mainstream or acceptable, whatever was going on. He was the platform they all could go to. He was where all of them could go and they could just say the wild shit, do the wild shit. They was on the stream all day. Like it was certain shit where it was just like, bro, we don't even know what y'all got going on over here half the time. Like it's just wild, reckless shit going on over here. And you fostered that for what, damn near 10 years at this point?
Because he's essentially been young Vlad. Like Vlad would
Young
get the
Vlad,
older
yeah.
acts,
Yeah.
and then Adam would get like the
Basically.
new ones that are trying to get into the game.
Yeah.
You know,
Type shit.
but I don't want it to be excused. While he might pose questions, while he might frame them, they didn't have to answer them.
It's
And there's a lot of
predatory
stuff that
business
they
though.
didn't have to.
Still, it's
True,
predatory.
but we've also seen it with Vlad. There's been certain people that went up there on Vlad and that Vlad would ask the questions and they remain silent. Don't ask me that. Move on, whatever the case may be. So it's predatory business, but there's also the accountability of those people who are leaning into business. So at least let me be clear. I'm not even talking about the beginnings because during the beginnings it was just like we said a whole bunch of reckless shit. At a certain amount of time, we saw what he was doing. And so if you still chose to go up there, even for some of the people that are named in the shenanigans, it's like you were just firing this off. Based on the clips that we are seeing, he didn't even have to ask you. You just saying shit. And some of these people going over there, exactly what he represents. So it's still predatory business. I don't want to take that away, but you got to take accountability at the same time.
Two things can be true. The accountability part, one, but people did start figuring out that if I go up here and tell these certain stories, it's going to further my career, make me more money inevitably, because all this is about people wanting to be on and get money.
Yep.
And I go back to there was a moment in No Jumper history where John Gabbana, which was the dude that was going around jumping on tables and doing all that wild shit, Boot Gang.
Boot Gang,
he came up there during
the
the interview and he was so drugged out.
Yeah.
And he still posted the whole interview. That's not you don't do shit like that. It's predatory as hell.
For sure.
Yeah. It's like it get to a point like there is for sure. And you could talk about, whoever was around Boot Gang that let him get on there in that condition as well. But it's like even if you run in the platform, bro, you should have some empathy, have some fucking common sense, and understand like, hey, bro, this ain't unless that's what you trying to represent. You know what I mean? And that's where you really get into the intentions with what is it that you're trying to really show us. And if that's what it is, we don't need you around here, bro.
Yeah, and I'm not taking away that either because we done seen him in multiple situations. I think he was up with was it Joe? Him and Joe Budden were going back and forth when Joe was trying to highlight that to him, and he just couldn't see it. He couldn't understand
he could see it. He just kept deflecting and being like, "But what about them? They come up there and I'm just asking the question. They cannot answer the question." But it's like you clearly understand that your platform
and we also acknowledge that you probably wouldn't bring them back up if they weren't answering the questions.
We've seen you get mad at motherfuckers for not answering the question. Like we've
Right.
seen that part too, where somebody
Having it.
avoid the question, you'd be like, so I mean, remember outside when you say like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. And we've seen that type of contention. So it's like we know that's what you're looking for. And you looking for nothing but destruction and destructiveness from these young black men most of the
Yeah.
time. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
And it's
Look,
also funny that if you think about it, he's also a direct proponent of the vulturing in the other communities and other cultures because white kids run to watch him.
Yeah.
And they're the ones now being exposed to all. You got to think like the elders, us our age, we looked at it and said, "Bro, this is stupid. We not like even because you got to think he was a big reason for the Florida rappers getting into everything. Like he was the one really highlighting that. We was all like, bro, this shit's stupid. Like no, but when you got these millions of 13, 14, 15-year-old white kids aiding and saying, oh, I want to emulate that. I like that. Yeah, because they get to cut that on and off as they please. So it's like you get to see how the trickle down effect where he's capitalizing off black struggle, black pain, and he's promoting it directly back to white people because those are the cliques that's going to eat it up.
mhm.
And it's a how I want to say is that not crash out, but
It's trauma porn.
yes, it's trauma porn, and then it's the like how he even says, well, they didn't have to say it. Well, you're also talking about people who this might be their last route, their last chance in their mind to make it out instead of doing drugs because I
And
already
just
did
as
that.
people didn't have to answer, you didn't have to ask.
Exact that part too. Like
Yeah, it go both ways.
I
It for
look
sure
I
go both ways.
like I look at that type of shit, the trap Lord Ross motherfucker, like that type of shit. Like I wish if they just moved that shit over to being like crime centered. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was just a crime covering, like we cover crime, and you actually phrase this how it is, then all right, cool. If they want to come up there and talk about whatever it is, what it is, but don't frame this around hip hop, and then all you talking about is crime, and all the people that's taking this in are people that's not us and don't have the context to understand what exactly is going on. And you don't really have the context either because you're not from none of these places.
Yeah.
You just looking from the outside, getting or making up whatever narrative it is, looking at academic shit, and like a lot of Trap Lord Raw shit be fucking from Reddit. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no real journalistic integrity in none of this. And that's where it be some bullshit. Like y'all can
That
get that off of hip hop, man. That ain't hip
that
hop.
that Legion of Doom photo was one of the nastiest pieces of
Disgusting.
work I've
Bro,
seen.
disgusting.
That between what was it? It was him, Trap Lord Ross, Academics, Whack,
Vlad.
Vlad. Yeah, bro. That was Legion of Doom, bro. That shit was that's nasty work because having all the cancers in the room together at the same time and them like showing it off like that it's tough to see. Especially considering we know their impact of what it has done to this because there was a lot of promotions in certain aspects we would have preferred to not have evolved in rap, and it's not to take away certain platforms that were I guess artists were trying to get out, but we've seen the direct involvement to support heavy negativity.
Yeah.
And it hurt, right? Like you got a decade's worth of work of them doing some bullshit, if not more. I can't remember how long Vlad's been around. He's just the
Vlad been
OG
around
to them.
about 20 years.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's just their OG. All the rest of them came in within the last 10 years or so, maybe 15 at the most, with Academics, Trap Lord, Adam 22, and then hey man, he going broke.
But
Allegedly, I don't know.
it falls on the consumer too. It's just the lowest form of entertainment. That's all it is. It's just a different form of what somebody will be on Zeus Network or some shit like that. Like it's just a low form of entertainment, and niggas are consuming it at a rapid rate just because they want to be entertained. I've always been a part of the mindset of this is not hip hop shit.
Yeah.
And to dress it up as hip hop, it just make the culture look a certain way.
Yeah,
That's all.
make it look toxic and violent and hyper sexual and all that type. Like that's
which it is.
Which it indeed is. But at like, and we can have a conversation about that too. I think when we looking at the hypersexuality and the hyper violence and all that type of stuff, we can apply the context necessary. You know what I'm saying? And still point out the fact that it should be changed, and we need to lessen that. but we can understand where it's actually coming from. I think shows like Adam, Vlad, all that, they don't necessarily give you the full picture of why these folks is here, because you just get this young dude up here talking about who he done shot. It's like, where
Yeah.
did this even come from? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? We don't even understand exactly what the backstory is. And then what do we gain from knowing this story now? Like, what was the purpose? Is there a push at the
We
end towards
gained
to
the
be like,
RICO
yo,
charge.
stop the violence? Is there any of that? Or is it just, yeah, man, that shit crazy?
We
What else
gained
happened?
charges. We gained charges. That's that it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it was to the point where it was almost you would only bring people up if you knew some fresh shit had just happened. You were
Yeah.
just involved with it, or your name was someone would go up there, mention some bullshit that they got involved in, and they were tied to this, and this is who it was, and then you go bring up the other person for their side of the story, like that type of one that has nothing to do with music, not even really a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That'd be the other piece too. It's like the only way that these folks are rappers is through the beef.
Yeah.
yeah,
These people are not like trying to, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to be the next big best artist and all this type of shit. Like, they're strictly rapping because of beef. And that is how you bring this in and loop hip hop into the fold. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Fuck Adam 22. Goodbye. Goodbye, nigga.
Yeah. It's not a sad day in hip hop.
Yeah, not at all. We dancing over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going, man. So Young Thug got in a little bit of trouble over the last week. He almost had his parole denied, or probation denied, for posting or reposting a picture of Marissa Viverito, who's an investigator, and he reposted this and said she was the biggest liar in the DA's office. Now, apparently, this person is not supposed to be seen on camera or anything like that, and the DA basically said that he was, escalating threats of and doing witness intimidation, and they filed a motion to get his parole denied and send him back to jail for the rest of his term. Now, that was denied, and he is still out. He's still on parole. He's chilling. But what did y'all take of this? What y'all think of this, man? Whoever want to take it first.
Uh Now when you explain it like that, because in a way, like if this lady ain't supposed to be seen and you the nigga to do it, why? That's the question I do have. I do have that question. Nigga, why? Why would you do that? Because it does, because all you're doing now is focusing eyes on her, which you got fans and support. You don't, and from a core of fans, millions of people who support you. Why? And this person is not supposed to be seen on camera. You don't know what Pandora's box you just opened in that. So, in that regard, I understand the attempt of what they tried to do. I disagree is because I look at it where we already knew the case with Young Thug of any little thing you do, you're at liberty to get your ass sent back. And I think with them, this is, hey, we we screwed the pooch on this. He's home.
We're gonna try to get him
We're
back.
gonna get him back, and we're gonna now meticulously watch every move you make and anything you do. Oh yeah, that's an attempt. We're gonna try to get it denied. Which you agreed to those stipulations to be home. You got to play absolute ball. So thinking you can do that, which I don't even think if you was not on parole, you should know you should be doing that. And that's where it kind of comes in. Like, if you weren't on parole, would you still do that? Like, oh, this is the biggest, like, because why? You're putting that person in jeopardy.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that's just how a little bit.
Right. What you thought?
I mean, I hope he takes this opportunity to understand that everything he does, especially if they gave you a 15-year probation sentence, is going to be under the microscope. There's not going to be many moves that you're going to be cleared to do without there being some type of question. Because from my general understanding of just doing a quick reading while Ev was giving his side, a 10-year ban from the Atlanta metro area. You got random drug tests, prohibition against obviously promoting gang activity or associating with known gang members. And then the only exceptions is family events. And I think he's required to come back and do shows for kids in the area. I think it's there like 4 times or something like that. Even even running through just a highlight of that, you you just have to almost just follow the footsteps of what Bobby Schmurder was going through up there. Like, man, we don't hear nothing negative from him. He don't even want to associate with it. People tried to come up and I remember even that clip where they had the dude trying to get him to sign some Air Force Ones they had custom made, but because it had the color blue on it and a couple of stars, he's like, nah, I can't, didn't even want it to be remotely implicative of anything that might be going on. You put yourself, that's tough too, because we know they're going after him. And they, like Ev said, they screwed the pooch, so they put it in a way of, we just need a gotcha moment to cook all this, man. And I may not agree because I haven't seen the photo myself. I haven't seen what he necessarily retweeted. I don't know what he said in context to it. I just hearing it, I'm not sure what was wrong without seeing it. But it's you're in a situation where, bro, 15 years is going to be a tough situation. That's the most I can think of, bro. Even you can't go to the city outside of mandatory positive things for the kids and do presentations, and then they're gonna even dictate how those presentations go. They're gonna dictate what it is that you're gonna be able to say, and it's like you might as well just have them write the music for you at that time, man. It's tough. It's tough, man. This is a prison sentence in itself.
Yeah, I was of the thought that like Thug didn't necessarily need to be free based on what he was allegedly charged with and what they kind of figured out that he was doing. If you read through the paperwork, so the fact that he got the parole is like cool, whatever. But at this point, it's showing like maybe you do believe you are above the law, and if they catch you for it, it is what it is at that point. Like, don't give them nothing. Don't give them a layup. Basically, don't put it right by the rim for them to slam on you. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, that's how I agree.
What
Go ahead, Rick.
what can he do
What you mean?
now? And I'm more so, I might be highlighting more like the idea of what probation is, especially for someone in his shoes. You took away most of his music capabilities because that was a large part of what he would be rapping about or producing. It's not to say that you still can't make music, but still sticking with the Bobby Schmurder representation is like, bro, we haven't seen Bobby be able to make music or do what he was doing beforehand. And you obviously took a large portion of what it was. And I think Bobby's was 7. How long was his probation? 5 years? So something not as long as whatever Thug about to go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be in the area unless it's specified for family events, which I'm sure you have to go get cleared and explain what exactly it's going to be, or you doing your give back to the kids in your 100 hours of community service. So you've been excommunicated from Atlanta, which I think is also wild in my mind. Is like, if you can't live in the area, and say if you leave Georgia, then what obligations do you necessarily have? Are they going to go come and get you if you would move to LA or something along those lines? But what can he do now that doesn't seem like a outside prison sentence?
I mean, nothing really. Nothing really. I think his parole is pretty tight. You know what I mean? And based on, I mean, you gotta understand too. It's like you caught parole off of RICO.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's not like this is some regular, just like, oh, you had a little case and then they gave you probation for a couple years. It's like you was facing a lot of time in the first place. So
yeah,
you caught a real break. Now, looking at the stipulations, that can be debated for sure, but at the same time, it's like you accepted the break. So at that point, you gotta play by them rules, bro. Play the game, man.
yeah.
You gotta play
Yeah.
that game. Rose, what you thought about all this?
Nigga, it's like niggas don't learn their lesson, bro.
Short and sweet to the point.
Niggas don't
Short
learn
and
their
sweet.
lesson. So if you want to be, if that's what you
Yeah,
want to do, brother, you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
Keep
yeah.
fucking around. You gonna find out. I thought you just found out and understood what this was. And it's like you got a little slap on the wrist, really. Like, I mean, you sat down and did some
Considering,
real time, but it's like nigga, why would you go on the internet and post this lady picture? Like,
Why
where
would
are
you
your
keep?
handlers?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, facts. Like put the phone
Like,
up, brother.
he should have somebody that look over everything before he posts anything. Like, you shouldn't be doing nothing funny, like nothing.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's almost like asking why
So
are you online?
Yeah. Literally, get rid of all
You
that.
should be posting Twitter link. You should be posting links to music,
Yeah, like why?
videos, and that's it.
That
That's
nigga,
it.
that nigga, that nigga needs a walkie-talkie, and that's it in his life.
Like if you are online, it should be, hey man, outside at the park with the fam, picture.
Yeah.
Boom,
New music
boom.
dropping soon.
Looking like a
Link.
good Samaritan.
Link.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's real. Like,
Even
and somebody can do that for you, bro. Like,
yeah, or even like just randomly posting, I don't know, pro black shit, right? Like
some,
oh,
some.
best two swimmers in NCAA are black. Here's a story. You feel me? Like just why are you
Yo,
online if
check
you're
this
not
out.
doing something?
Like, your
You
your Twitter should look like a Tumblr,
Yeah.
brother.
you
Like
know,
you.
like why,
dead
why are you
ass.
online, man?
Go into
You
photography.
know, I don't.
Some.
I would clear my algorithm of anything gang related, strip club related. You feel me? I
It's
would quite literally want, if you don't post black and white pictures, I can't follow you. I don't want
it's
nothing with
rated. It's
colors.
rated TV. It's rated TV Y7 around here, man.
Y7 dog.
Yes.
Y7 around
Yeah.
here, man.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't even repost Sonic the Hedgehog. Too many colors. I don't like that Knuckles
Oh
is red and
wow.
Sonic is
Yeah.
blue.
Sonic is
You feel
blue.
me?
I'm
Like,
not
nah,
trying
bro.
to allude to nothing.
I don't want no smoke, bro.
But it ain't even like he
You-
posted something that was like outside of the like, bro, you posted people that work with these folks. Like, what are you
Facts. What are you
Like, what are
what you
you
doing?
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 Talking about, yeah, you just the biggest liar in the DA's office. Like,
Why do
fam,
you have the
come on, fam.
picture?
Come on, fam. Stop
Why
it.
do
Why
you
you
have
have?
the picture? Is
Like,
this
what we doing?
intimidation?
And that's
Hey,
exactly where they went with it. That's
hey,
exactly where they go.
my timeline on Twitter would mute every single name that had to do with the case.
Come on, bro.
I wouldn't
You
even
can't
listen
even.
to the Brian Stills.
Wouldn't even comment on it, man. Hey, man, what you think about Stephen A. swinging on LeBron? Huh? What happened?
I
New
think
music
all
dropping
I
soon.
think all
Here's
violence. I don't
bro,
support no violence, man.
no violence,
I think we
dog.
gotta, find a way to talk through our disagreements, man. You know what I mean? New
No
Thug coming
violence.
out next month, man. You know what I'm saying? And my name is Jeffrey now. Like the
Man.
whole the whole way through, bro. Like what?
Young Jeffrey. That's
Young
it. That
Jeffrey.
young Jeffrey.
My name is Young
You know what
Jeffrey
I'm saying?
now. Off of
Young
come
Jeffrey,
on, man.
man. But
Uh,
okay, so let me ask you this. I know this wasn't necessarily on the docket, but because Atlanta area, similar situation. Lil Man's, I know his first name Cortez. I'm blanking on the last name. I apologize. Getting hemmed up at the high school, made a diss track after he caught a beating from old dude. Is does this, since we know that they use a lot of Thug situation or a lot of his music within his Rico case, and they tried to clarify that, and we understand certain things that played out. Would this fall under the same parameters for y'all, or where we at on music being utilized
I mean,
in the court
I think
in this particular manner?
I think they
And if
told
you're not familiar with the case, Rose, I don't know if you're familiar with it, or Ev, are y'all familiar with what I'm talking about?
I've heard of what you're mentioning.
Okay, so essentially, it was a situation where this is two high schoolers. They got into a fight on campus, and the young gentleman that lost the fight, even though the way that the news article tried to say it, they said he got jumped, but they also said he got jumped by one person. So possibly semantics. But after he lost the fight, he made a track. He made a diss track towards old buddy, and he said something along the lines like he was going to catch a body, stand over it, something along those lines, like kind of insinuated he would do particular violence, and then he ended up getting arrested for terroristic threats. Right. So he's 18. Let me add that context. He's still in high school, but he's also 18. But he got arrested for terroristic threats. Transitioning that over, how does how do we feel about lyrics being utilized in such a manner? And I know his case might be a little bit more specific because I'm on the side of there was already violence that was confirmed to occur, and then you went and threatened to escalate it while being in school, and those people have to do something, especially living in the climate that we're in. But then we also had that isolated factor of they use only that diss track, only the music to charge those crimes.
I mean, if he's charged with terroristic threats, I would say the diss track would suffice as the only thing that needs to be the evidence in that sense. As far as taking the lyrics to charge him, if he's charged with terroristic threats and he rapped about trying to kill somebody specifically, yeah, buddy, sorry. Like
It's
it sucks because it's like you probably young, you not thinking it's that serious or whatever. But if you just got beat up and you go do a song saying "I'ma kill you" after you got beat up,
the same thing as a manifesto.
yeah, like if I don't do nothing and something happened to bruh, then that's on, everybody had a lapse in the situation. So
Yeah.
we can't afford to do that. Yeah, we gotta come talk to you, man. Come sit
Well,
down.
And we talking about the
because
protection of children, the safety of children. So
Because come on,
even
man.
even with him being 18,
You in
it's
high school
that's
is
a part of that too, where it's kind of these are it's a minor thing though. Like parents need to be involved, staff, faculty, yeah. And what if this nigga come here with a gun? Like he just said he was gonna do it. What if we got to protect this young man now? And unfortunately, you 18, so the proper way comes with that.
what you
It's
there's
it's a very slippery slope in this
what you
in that
think,
way.
Rose? What
yeah,
you thought,
Rose.
Rose?
I think it is. I think it is a slippery slope, bro. Like when we able to just start using lyrics and shit to charge niggas, we going down a different type of road at that point. Like,
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let's say there's a murder that happens, right? And there's a song that comes out, and the lyrics are step by step describing that murder. Would it be like, would you be against using the lyrics for that song as evidence if you can show, like, if it can be shown that, like, from here to here, from the song to the crime scene, all of this matches? Would you be against being like, yeah, these lyrics show the confession of what actually happened, or would you say we should leave music out of it?
I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know, because then it just starts to turn into something crazy. Like, I'm with Ev. It's just a slippery slope, my nigga.
I
Like,
think it's a
because
case by case.
yeah, once you open that up, there's no limit to what they can now turn that into. You know what I'm saying? Like, once that box is open, you cannot close it.
I mean,
and
go ahead, Ray.
I know, so I think where the argument comes up, especially when we use it, like manifesto scenarios, and we've seen certain shootings that have happened or tragedies that have happened when they more or less said, "I'm going to do these things." Where it ties into the music portion of it, where I think that trickiness comes is at no point do I believe we should be in a situation to where we're trying to predict a crime, because if you're just saying something, that's a form of your artwork and it's potentially hypothetical. Because if we're going to charge you, if we're going to go off of that, I'm not saying don't watch, I'm not saying don't pay attention, right? Hey, okay, you said these things, maybe have a set of eyes for just in case. And you should also be aware that if you're putting out these types of words, that there might be a set of eyes on you. But you can't predict crime. We're not there in society to say like, oh, okay, you hinted at this, so I'm going to go ahead and charge you with what. That's no different than being in any other situation. When in most places, if an officer approaches you, that's why you need a warrant. You need probable cause. You need reasonable, articulable suspicion of me. You either witness me doing a crime, about to do a crime, whatever the case. Me saying words, when you conflicted with the freedom of speech type situation, you can't just take words and say
That's
I'm going to
yeah.
go do this unless I'm in the action of it. You know, now with his particular scenario, I think it's slightly different because violence has already occurred. A fight has already occurred and people know about the fight. It was documented. So you coming back and saying after you lost, after you, even if you won the fight, the fight occurred and you came back and said, I'm gonna kill you. You went from there to hear, and then you add the extra context of it being in a school
Mm-hmm.
type scenario. So that's a little bit different. But I wanted to ask that context of is like, all right, should we start using lyrics because we know they pulled it for Thug. They pulled some of the lyrics in his
I
trial.
honestly,
With the 6ix9ine situation. We've seen it with the. I think they did it for Bobby Shmurda as well. Like we've been seeing them reference it, but it was always post something
They
happened.
did it. They doing it for dirt. It's like,
yeah,
and that's
Yeah,
where I think in a sense is where I don't like when you can tie it to the crime, like genuinely tie it to the crime. It's like at that point, that's your fault, bro.
yeah.
Those your words. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have got on this song and said anything, but you decided to say that in relation to that.
Mm-hmm.
But you still trying to play it like we keeping it lower. We keep like you gloating if we keeping
right.
it clean. So it's like, yeah, at that point, bro, you get what come to you. So, and for the record, I think that should be rehabilitation, you motherfuckers. But yeah, that's
There you go. There you go.
Ev, you about to add something?
No,
What
I
was
was
that?
gonna damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, it was because it was about with that child thing. Is that like it was going back into manifesto? Those song lyrics. Think about it. When even in the case with that child, right? Saying making a diss song saying "gonna kill you" is the same fucking thing as making that post the day before on social media. It's the
yeah,
same. Like think about it.
yeah.
Think about if those words, those lyrics were just a Facebook post or an Instagram
Mhm.
story that was only like think about the same ramifications that come from that. We see
Yeah.
it every day. When that's posted on social media,
They're gonna shut the
everybody
school down. You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
Yeah,
getting
and we've
so
seen
that
that happen.
so
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a and that's why it's not we're not supposed to predict crime, but we're supposed to be preemptive to it if there's a chance. And like you said, violence already occurred. That
so
makes
now
it
we got to take the
even
step. Yeah, we got to take the step now.
everybody know that this man and that's why I say the subjectivity of it too. Oh, I hate to say it like this, but oh, you got your ass whooped. And now you making a diss saying I'm an XYZ this person. Yeah,
well, I'll
no,
even follow up. Even if you won the fight and you double back and say after I won,
Yeah, it's like nah, like
yeah,
you
just
feel me? Like it's still, it's especially because I think, especially with the school part, y'all highlighting that when we've seen it within these last 3-4 years. You post something online, don't even have to be a diss track. You post something online saying I'm gonna do something at this school. The school's on shutdown and they
yeah,
looking for you,
yeah,
right? And I think that's where this particular case it had to do with that because my pushback on it was is like, all right, if it's strictly just the music, we wouldn't even be talking any of the diss tracks that have came out in rap, even
yeah,
from the lightest of I could catch a fade with you outside, like any of that would all be subject to court,
yeah,
hmm
and I think that's tough. It's like, all right, as adults, because I hate to say they probably gonna try him as an adult for it. I think it's going to be one of those situations that might be able to be explained, if you will, or they might lessen the
yeah.
sentence.
Less than the situation. Yeah,
Because he is, from my understanding, a good student. He don't have no record. He hasn't done anything. He just so happens to be 18 while still in high school.
yeah,
But
this
nah,
is
I wanted to
just
talk about because that was an Atlanta thing as well. I can't remember the name of the high school, but one of you two might know it over there. But
not off top. But yeah, man. Speaking, be careful with your words. And
that's what I was gonna say.
speaking
Literally.
of being careful with your words, man. Again, rest in peace to young Scooter. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying? Over since his death, we've come to find out that Demetrius Spence, aka Demi Blanco, sorry, aka Demi Blanco, made a call to the police, made a 911 call, basically saying that somebody at that residence was being beat, like a child was being beat up, um, and that they was running drugs through there and all types of things, and that they needed to get the police over there. Um,
now the woman was being beat up too.
yeah,
Don't skip
yeah,
that part.
yeah. A woman was being beat up as
Go
well.
ahead.
Um, she did a live after the fact, basically saying like, alleging that she had been beat up by him at different points or whatever was going on. Regardless, that ain't what the call was about, right? And you know, we don't even know if that what she said was going on in the call is what actually was going on at that house. I don't think so. So now we get to the situation where you make this call for whatever the reason is, and this man has lost his life. So again, just you know what I'm saying, be very careful with your words, man. You might have an issue with somebody, you might have a situation with somebody. Be careful with what you saying and what you doing with your actions. Sending the police to somebody's house because you got an issue with them, and we know how the police act. Come on, man. Like we gotta think smarter. We gotta move better because that man lost his life, and from what it looks like, he ain't have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's you know what I'm saying. It's a broken home now. You know what I mean?
Fuck
And
that hoe.
Man.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't
Fuck
mad
that
at you.
hoe, bro.
I ain't mad at you. That's whack. That's weak. That's weak, man. Like
As a black woman, you know not to even do no shit like that. You
yeah,
know not to do no shit like that.
we can't play them type of games, man. Like putting the police on folks is not like if you're not actually in that danger, let's not play them type of games, man. Because
And you ain't even just put the police on, cuz you really got him swatted because of your
Yeah.
description.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
a game itself that you just don't play at all. Like
You don't
Because
play
the
swatting
them.
police
somebody,
pulling up
just
is one thing. Like just one or two police pulling up, that's one thing. You swatting somebody, you already know they coming with different type of intentions, bro.
yeah,
Because the description that she gave in that phone call,
Insane.
one, not only made it seem like it was live, it was happening live. You talking about someone, you said the words being beat, bloody, pulpless, whatever,
Yeah, come on,
and then
bro.
someone getting drugged inside. Like you
Yeah,
described it like it was a live action, and there was multiple victims at the same time.
yeah.
And
You
and
adding
like
in
you were
that they
just a
run
witness,
drugs and they doing all this extra stuff too.
right?
It's
Like
like this is a
you
hell
gave a
house.
laundry list of
like you
like
just wild
any
them out.
any type of call like that. I don't care what race it is, the police are coming
Mm-hmm.
with
And they on bullshit. They
yeah,
pulling
and,
up.
and it's like
Understandably
too.
Understand?
It's
Yeah,
not,
like
it's
under
not
the
just one of
guise
those,
of I need to be ready
yeah,
for
like
what the fuck is going on in here.
we
There's
need
wild
to
shit
stop
going on
this,
here.
right? This we're past talking, we're past de-escalation
Right.
because things are occurring in this moment. We need it's almost a not seek and destroy, a search and rescue. You feel me? They're coming in, separate first, ask
Niggas
questions
is
later.
seek and destroy for sure.
Or, yeah,
We talk about 12, man. They be
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
they lean and shit. They
Oh,
come
Yeah,
in there
seek
yeah,
and
lean and
destroy
shit.
for sure.
but she set that up, and it's one of those, man. I don't think swatting should be the only charge here because of the
No, she should
results
be
of
an
what happened.
Wouldn't it
accessory to
be?
the dying.
Yeah,
Manslaughter.
yeah. I
Manslaughter.
would say
I think
manslaughter. Wouldn't that be it? Yeah.
Manslaughter or
I think
something.
manslaughter would be the charge because you didn't intend to have him killed,
And he
and
didn't
that's
and
usually
he
what man.
We
died in
don't
a
we
and he
don't know
died
that.
in a
We don't know that.
I mean, fair. They
I
might
mean
have to prove that. It
that's
seems
fair.
like one of those they might try to,
Because
based on that
you
phone
send
call.
that to somebody's house with that call, it's like I
Yeah,
can't necessarily say you wanted good for the person. Like you
Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Nah, you ain't want to put your own work in, so you sit them folks. If he was doing all that, go chip something. I ain't promoting violence, but I'm saying.
because even to her explanation of it, saying that it
I ain't
happened to
promoting
her,
violence, but I'm saying.
you feel me? Because
You
I'm
ain't
not,
want to
I'm
do
not,
it, so you sit them as foul, bro.
yeah, because
That's
I'm not,
crazy though
It's
when
I'm
you think
not,
foul.
about
It's
it though.
foul. It's
I'm not
very
in
foul.
disagreement with Rose. If you're gonna try to pull up and create certain violence, but you're gonna have somebody else do it for you, that's tough. And don't get me wrong, I'm not missing out on the fact that she's a woman. But in her explanation, this is what I'm going off of. She said that it occurred to her and alleged that he did it to her. Well, in that moment that he did it was the time for you to call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In that moment that he did it was the time for you to go
Or
do that
even
same
if you're
phone
gonna
call,
call later
Nigga,
and address that. Don't call
address
later
that.
and put all this other shit on them that's gonna turn this
Right?
into something different. Like that. Come on,
You
man.
said it like you knew
Like you
you
was sitting
Like
out
it
the
was
window.
100%
Like you was looking
confirmed.
out the
Like,
window
ooh,
right then at the
yeah,
moment. Like, nah,
Yeah, because
they
it's
doing
like
this
one of
right
them
now.
situations. It's like one of them situations. Say the police aren't involved. It's like, all right, we all men here. Say if you have a sister or you have a cousin, and she calls us and it's like, yo, her boyfriend putting hands on her, whatever the case may be. We're not asking questions.
right.
Mhm,
We're pulling up.
Straight
mhm,
action.
mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The boys are coming. We're pulling up, and then we handling it from there. And then if we found out that you lied to us like that, and what that means to even our relationship as we go forward is like, you know who we are, and you know what type of time we're on. Translate that over. Now you went and got the police. You got the laws.
Yeah, you got them boys.
You got the laws. So I'm in agreement with what Rose said. Is like, bro, I'm not promoting violence, but you knew what you were doing because in your potentially in your anger, you wanted violence to be caused to him.
The retribution piece.
You feel
Even in
me?
the explanation, you could tell she know what she was doing because she was talking about something like it sounded like it was past shit. Like, oh, he was doing this, he was doing that. Well, come on. If that was then, look, we got to handle this a different way. I can't
Yeah.
swat you.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't
It's, cra-
swat you. So
Like to
that's
go that route is
premeditated.
just crazy.
it's
Like
crazy. Yeah,
it's just
That's
it's crazy.
like
premeditated.
Because at that,
yeah,
it's like knowing the climate, knowing what's going on. It's like you can't put that on nobody, man. You cannot put like my worst enemy. I ain't putting the police on you.
yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like that's just not because you don't know where they gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Because
And
we seen the situation. They not coming to ask
yeah,
questions,
they're
bro.
not they're
No,
not
You
just
got a
knocking
whole
on the
they
door. They
coming to
finna
clear
batter
out.
look,
ram the door. Like come on,
Jermaine got
man.
a whole video on this shit. And he was just lucky to not be in that
To not
house
be
just
in the
because
house,
someone
yeah. Because
insinuated
folks
something, bro.
thinking,
Like,
oh, it's a lot of cars going through there, and then they bust the whole house down. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
man,
what?
you got to
Just
be,
like how the streamers,
Yeah,
the fans and shit, and they be having
yeah,
Yep.
folks swat them. I'm like, dog, come on.
yeah, man,
and that
And
shit is
the,
not good.
You can't do
the
that, bro.
yeah, man. So yeah, man,
the
just
issue with the other part about it is like at least not at least understanding what you're doing is where I could kind of end it off on this piece. You could have set him up for a federal SWAT, and you can't even get your money back. You can't sue the feds. So if they would have destroyed his house, even
mm,
if he was
mm,
to live and whatever, you can't get your money back from
mm,
that when they have false information or they were just wrong altogether. But let alone when you made that call, bro, it's like this time it was only Atlanta PD, but it's just for people understanding in general, and there was a way better way to handle this, and we lost a life because of that.
for sure, man. So yeah, man, just to the young brother that made the record, to this young sister, man, be careful with your words. Make better decisions with your words because all your actions have consequences and reactions, and they may not be the ones that you thought they was gonna be. I'm sure that dude didn't think me making this record is gonna land me in jail with terroristic threats, but hey, man, you know.
You got to
So
be able to take that
that being
time and
said,
think about
man, this has been Keep It Clean, episode number 7007. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Most importantly, keep it clean. New episodes coming every Tuesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Add us to your libraries, my brothers. I appreciate y'all as always. We out.